I welcome you to this IAI3 Edutalk session, and I also welcome our guest, Mr. Sandeep Roy Vaish. Thank you for coming, Sandeep. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
So IAI3 Edutalk, they are basically conversations where we invite people, professional people from different careers, businesses, professions, and also there have been so many people who have been entrepreneurs. So we want them to share their journeys in their education and in the way they map their trajectories in their lives, the skills they picked up, their experience, their knowledge, and we want to share that from them with our young viewers, our students, and young professionals who are watching us. So IAI3 Edutalk, we are an education portal. It stands for the International Association of Industry Institute Interface. IAI3 Edutalk, it has been the brainchild of our president, Dr. Neeta Parate, who herself is a very dynamic lady. And it has so far been very, very well received. So to speak, we are new. These sessions of IAI3 Edutalk have just come in onto the internet. Our vision was also when people grew in their work, in their business and experience, they carried a lot of people along with them. So one of our visions was humanity helping people. Unless we help people, unless we take their help, we build a team and then we carry along. So during the COVID, lots of new career options have come through on the basis of technology. And this is what we are going to speak to Sandeep about. So I am Anjali Sangvi. I'm a soft skills trainer and I'm your host for this evening. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you my friend of many, many decades, Sandeep Roy Vaish. Now, Sandeep was born in Haridwar and the scenic, peaceful North Indian countryside of India, that's where he grew up. And he is an alumni of the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, West Bengal. Now, IIT is one of the premier education institutions in India and very well recognized abroad. So this great technological foundation is what Sandeep started off with. After a brief interlude of working in a company, he decided that he has to start his own business. So he started a business in office automation in 1989. And then he started a series of enterprises. So his entrepreneurial skills, they are remarkable. And we are going to speak to him about all the businesses that he started. So once again, Sandeep, we welcome you to our show. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anjali. I really appreciate and I'm so glad to be here with you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sandeep. So Sandeep, our audiences would like to know that what is involved when we have to start a business in office automation? What does it mean and what do we have to do?
Well, Anjali, actually office automation, I got started in office automation because I was working with a company which was in office automation.
Okay.
So since I had a little bit of experience and I had some knowledge of the market, I knew a couple of people. So that's the reason I started with office automation.
Okay. Okay. But what does it actually mean? Automation, somehow we feel maybe it's like robotics. We're in a factory where the cars are built up by robots. But what does it mean?
Oh, what does office automation mean? Okay. So the company I was working with, this company was into marketing, manufacturing and marketing of personal computers,
Okay.
as well as electronic typewriters. Now, these are the gadgets which automate your office work. And that's why it's called office automation.
Okay.
And when I got started with an equipment called facsimile, fax machines. Though that was a new concept in late 80s, early 90s. And that's how I got started in that industry.
Okay, fax machines. All right. So it was before this internet revolution, is that right? Did you have to use any internet technology for that?
No, not really. Internet had not come to India at that time. Internet came to India in 1995.
Oh, okay.
In fact, the very first seminar on internet
Yes.
I conducted at Hotel Arovatas.
Is that
That
right?
was in 1995. Yeah.
It was amazing history being written. So that is fabulous. Sandeep, maybe you should publish a book about your experiences. Well, anyway, so that was wonderful. That was the first business you started. And then you have such an in-depth knowledge and expertise on how to begin a startup. Now, from our side, what we'd like to know is what does it involve? Because does it always have to be an out-of-the-box idea? The payments, the legalities, looking for the niche market, market segment, and does it sustain itself? Please explain to us because we'd all love to know.
Yeah, Anjali, the, the theory in that is when something happens for you,
Yeah.
it's always so easy to take the credit of whatever happened, and you can always say I did it. But let me tell you by experience.
Yes.
Any startup is 1% inspiration, 1% perspiration, and 98% luck. So if luck is not on your side, irrespective of what you do, it doesn't work.
Sure.
But then how does it work? How do people make things work for themselves? They keep on trying, keep on doing till luck really sits on their side. So that's how it works. You have to just keep on trying. I don't know what will work for whom, but something will work out for you if you just continue to try.
I guess one has to have the tenacity to hang in there.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
That's very true. That's very true.
And
there are going to be failures. There are going to be bad experiences. There are going to be disappointments. If you can live through those, yes, something will eventually succeed. But not only we get a lot of frustration because things are not happening. Unfortunately, the society we live in is not very supportive. The conditions we live in are not very congenial. They're not very conducive. So many people, those who have the skill of or the ability or the acumen to maybe even build a huge empire, many of them don't survive that because people kill them, or the conditions, or the government policies, or whatever. These are the things which people are not able to last.
Yes, that's true.
So I was one of the fortunate ones. I got an success early, so I could I could live on.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And very often people, they give up their jobs and they start a business, and then they realize they should go back to work. And so sometimes maybe it's easier to keep the job and then go in for a startup and see if it works out well, and then make your choice.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. In fact, there are a lot of businesses these days which are home-based, which are internet-based, which are digital, okay, which give you this convenience that you can start your business from your home in your free time, okay, sitting right in front of your computer. And it doesn't really take anything other than having a device in front of you to start a business, not even money for that matter.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. There was a time when online payments were new. It was like a startup. It was a new idea. But now it has become a system which operates very well, not just for payments, but even for transfers and everything else. So at the time the idea came in, were they known as a startup? Online payments.
Yeah, true. Paytm is a startup, you can say.
Yes.
Right. So they started small. Now they have grown into a huge organization. And again, now when I was talking of luck, see about 5 years back, demonetization happened.
Yes.
And when that happened, the owners of this organization, Paytm, for them, the business changed. It changed overnight. It multiplied multifold. Now this another tool, Zoom, which many people use for streaming their lives and conducting meetings and conducting webinars.
Yes.
Okay, when pandemic happened, so many businesses they faced the challenge.
That's
But
true.
for Zoom, it was the other way around. Their business grew to 20 times in less than a month. So, I mean, like I
That,
said, luck always has to play an important part in your life, but you have to continue, you have to sustain, you have to persist, you have to hang in there till it happens for you.
yes, yes. So their business really skyrocketed when maybe they also didn't expect it to.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Wow,
Sometimes luck gives you more than you bargain for.
that's right. That's right. Exactly. Exactly right. And then Sandeep, you had started a business, internet business, I guess, in the entertainment industry. Would you like to
Ye-
share with us how
uh,
did
uh,
that happen?
yes, entertainment industry. Actually, what happened when I moved into this area, okay, way back in 1990 to stay, I stay in an area called Koregaon Park.
Yes.
And the only source of entertainment that time was television.
Okay.
And the television used to come through cable.
Wow. Yes,
And
that's right.
so when I moved in here, I was looking for a cable operator who could service me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was none. So the only option for me was to set up my own system. When I set up my own system, one of my neighbors came to me and said, "Why can't you give me a feed also?" And I didn't know what it involves. I said, okay, let me find out. So I started sharing my cable feed with somebody, and then slowly it grew. I never planned that cable television is something which is going to be
Yes.
my interest,
Yes.
but somehow it just happened for me, right? So I got into cable television, and I was in that industry for about good 12 years. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember those days we used to have those dish antennas, although I think they still have them, massive dish antennas on the roof,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
So earlier on, people even used to have their individual dish antennas, and then this concept of DTH antennas came, direct to home. These are small antennas, and they talk to satellite directly, and they can give you a individual feed into your own television. Yeah, that concept wasn't there at that time. So there used to be huge antennas,
Yes.
or antenna, whatever you want to call it, and people would put up a system which would service an entire community or even beyond.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And then you had also set up a business in education. Is that right, Sandeep?
Yes, see, education is something I love.
Yes,
I,
of
I
course.
I love teaching. I really love teaching. Okay, that is something I adore. And so much so that there was a time I was working with the Times Group, and they had this program called Newspaper in Education, and they would send professionals like myself into schools to teach young students. When I say young students, they would be of class second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth,
Okay.
up to 10th. Yeah. And so I used to go to different schools and teach young students, and that was fun. And from there, I realized that if you want to learn something, the best way is teaching.
Yes. Yes, it makes you grow as a teacher and your own knowledge.
Correct. So because of my involvement with digital marketing, with the network marketing, with multi-level marketing, home-based businesses, okay, I come across a lot of partners who need education to get started in the business.
Okay.
Okay, so I do a lot of education for them, that how to use it. May be technical education, it may be self-development education, it may be presentation or soft skills. Look, maybe I'm intruding on your territory also there somewhere. Okay,
No, there's
all that is required for people to become successful in some of these industries. Okay, so that's the education which I do. Plus I also conduct some classes for people, those who are interested in uh, primarily self-development, or skills like public speaking, skills like mm, being able to stream. I mean, if you see this setup behind me, that is the reason that I have this, because I teach this also, how to have a good online presence.
oh really?
Yeah,
Virtual presence.
virtual presence, absolutely. So you see this microphone over here. This is part of my equipment. You see that background? That's a virtual background. And so all this setup is because I'm into that industry.
That's amazing. That's absolutely wonderful. And you don't have to worry about entering the soft skill area because there's enough place for everyone to survive.
No, my challenge is not that there is a lot of space. My challenge is I have to compete with people, skilled people like you.
Very kind of you to say that. And great. So, Sandeep, what is the exact difference between, if at all there is, internet marketing and digital marketing? Supposing if somebody comes to you that this is my product, please could you help me to do digital marketing? So, off it. How does one set up all that?
Actually, internet marketing and digital marketing are one and the same.
Right.
Right. Now, in digital marketing, there is a mainstream digital marketing, of course, but over a period of time, a lot of digital marketing is being taken over by social media marketing. So when you approach people through Facebook, through Instagram, through LinkedIn, okay, and market your product, that is called that is the social media marketing. But all the social media marketing also have a mainstream marketing channel. They will charge you money for that, and they will connect you to people, those who may be interested in your product. Right. So that is also there. Now, one of the biggest source of getting traffic. So anybody who comes to your website because you advertised is that is called traffic. So one of the best ways of getting traffic used to be Google search engine. Okay. When I was when I got started in digital marketing, that is way back in 2008. Today, most of the people get their, especially the home-based businesses, they get their traffic from Facebook. So things have changed.
But Facebook news is fantastic. You know, you get to hear and know pictures, so many things about people. Very interesting facts, and not just tourism and
I know, sometimes
fashion.
interesting, sometimes more than interesting also.
But of course, it's nice. It helps you get connected with people. Okay, so digital marketing is some similar to the marketing that is done on social media platforms, is it? Something similar?
No, social media marketing is a part of digital marketing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So the outreach is much bigger, digital marketing, that you can get through to a lot more people.
Yes, digital marketing. I mean, the very fact that you can reach out to anybody who's connected to a computer through internet, right? The market is huge. There's several million people you can reach out to. Whereas any other form of marketing is to reach out to so many people is practically impossible. And even if you want to do that, let's assume that technically that was possible.
Yeah.
It's going to the kind of money which will be involved will be humongous. It would not be possible for any organization even to do that. Secondly, digital marketing has a way of giving you a feedback. So every time when you market, what happened and how it happened, that can be monitored very easily. So let me give you an example. So if I put an ad, let's say on Facebook, so Facebook will give me a report in the evening, how many people it was shown to, what was the profile of the people, how many saw it, and how many people decided to actually look at my website, and how many people decided to buy.
Yes.
So I have all this statistics, I have all this data. Whereas when I put up a hoarding, let's say, right, I go to MG Road in Pune and put up a hoarding over there, costing, let's say, 2 lakh rupees for the month.
Yeah.
End of the month, I really don't know how many
people
came to me through that hoarding. Right. So that's another limitation. So not only the reach is far bigger because of the reach of internet, the control on your marketing is far better. So even with small budget, yes, you can reach out to people. You know, you can start your digital marketing business with 5,000 rupees or 2,500 rupees or 2,000 rupees. Whereas you can't think of putting up a hoarding on MG Road with that money.
Yes, that's true.
Right.
It's not possible. Yeah.
It's not possible. Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. So there's, so many new careers came up after the internet explosion once the COVID came in.
True.
It was horrific, and that had its own negative aspects, but there was a boom in the internet industry, this OTT platforms, Netflix, and careers for writers, for even musicians came onto this platform. So, has it helped a lot by way of making jobs for people?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. In fact, today, if somebody says, "Okay, I don't really see an opportunity for myself to do anything,"
Right.
I would not I would not take it as an a valid reason.
Yes.
It's an excuse, because
Yes.
everybody today has an opportunity to do something or the other. Everybody has this thing in hand, this phone. Okay, that is all what you need really to get started with digital marketing if you want to.
Yes.
So anybody can get started now. What can somebody do who knows nothing, or who has nothing, who has no idea what to do? Even if you just put in a small let's say a course, video course, or a ebook or whatever,
Yeah.
okay, audiobook, whatever there are people interested in that education. How to take care of dogs, how to take care of your toddlers, or how to keep your house clean, or how to take care of your parents. Okay, anything, whatever you know, you can come out with an idea, with a way of making money from that.
Yes, that's true. And in a way, it's been a boon.
It's been a boom. Yeah. A lot of, correct.
Job opportunities.
Yes, a lot of people have moved from job to doing something on their own, because pandemic forced them, and that was a very good turn in their life. Yes, I agree with you on that.
Yes, that's true. And then when we speak of high technology internet, how is it different from the regular internet that we use? We use Facebook and WhatsApp and phone, and we watch some movies sometimes. So high technology is the hard disk work, is it, that goes on behind the scenes? I guess you need engineers for that as well.
I don't know what exactly
High
technology internet is, but internet is one and the same. Only thing what varies is the speed of the internet. So when I got started in the internet, the speed used to be 14.4 kbps.
kbps. I think now you get
kbps. So from kbps, then we moved to now mbps, kbps, and when you move from kbps to mbps is 1,000 times multiplication. So today, this connection on which I am talking to you, this is 300 mbps.
Oh my.
Okay, and somebody in this building also has a connection of 1 gbps, which is 1,000 times of a mbps. So moving from 14.4 kbps to 1 gbps, you can imagine how much has changed. So maybe they're talking of high-end technology is the transition from low speed to high speeds of internet. But apart from that, internet is same. It's just a network of networks. Yeah.
But I'm sure he uses it. What's the kind of work that, for general knowledge sake, what's the kind of work he does with that 1,000 Mbps? Is that right?
That is 1 gbps.
1 Gbps. Okay.
Okay, so that is 1,000 mbps. You're absolutely right. Now, probably he is streaming very high quality videos. Okay, so the television which we used to have earlier.
Yes.
Okay, they were SD televisions, and then from that we moved to HD television 720p. Then from that we moved to 1020p, which is 1080p, which is the high definition televisions, and from that we have moved to 4K, and now 8K and 16K. So maybe the gentleman is doing some kind of a video production, because that is the only thing which requires that kind of a bandwidth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. That's really wonderful. And then you were saying that it was your vision to start businesses which give employment to a lot of people. So what is it that you really had in mind? Future plans.
You're talking of what I plan to do now on?
Now on, because you were saying that you would like to put India on the global digital map. So How can we help? How is that going to happen?
Okay. See,
We, in the sense, the common man.
yeah, I understand that. So there are a couple of things to it. See, first of all, so many people, they leave India and go and settle overseas is because they don't have the kind of opportunity for their career what they see over there.
Okay.
Okay, that's the primary reason.
Yes.
And of course, uh, living conditions are slightly tougher over here, which is not something which I control. But definitely, we can help these youngsters to find a good career in India itself because we have this opportunity. Now, Indians are known for a good brain. That's why everybody wants them.
Yes, yes.
And because of the connectivity, for them to go and really work over there is not required because whatever they want to do, they can start doing it here in India. And India is such a resource full land.
Yes, very
That
creative people, yes.
you really can't go wrong over here. There is so much over here. I mean, we are blessed that we live in one of the richest lands of the world. So why should the richest brain leave the richest land and go and settle somewhere else?
Yes, why not bring that resources or the facilities to them?
Correct. So we all a global village now. The opportunity we didn't have earlier, we didn't have 30, 40 years back.
Yes.
Okay, when I graduated from my college in 1986, okay, almost 80% of my batchmates, they over a period of time left India and settled somewhere else.
Oh.
And again, the reason was that they did not see a future for themselves in India. Today, because we are a global village, we are connected. So not only that you can do business over here in India, you can sit here in India and do business anywhere in the world.
Yes, of course.
And any kind of business. Right. So this all become possible because we are now digitally connected. So because we have that opportunity, so why can't we become the leaders in taking this global village concept to everywhere starting from India? Why can't we be the number one? We can be. Exactly. And fortunately for us, so a lot of people take it this way that we were under the British rule for so long and they are the ones who ruined us. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to comment on that. But one thing they did good for us was they gave us this language called English.
Yes.
And English became as a boon in late 80s and early 90s when the opportunities came and they wanted Indians because Indians could speak English.
They could, yes, yes. We have learned.
Okay, and that's the reason the computer revolution put India on a global map. Yes. If we were like China or we were like so many other countries, where people are enterprising, Malaysia or whatever, right? And if we did not speak English, we would have been at the same place. That's true. So we are blessed to get the we are blessed that way, yeah.
From the British, yes.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. And do we have that kind of backup, servers and capacity to service such a lot of computer work, internet work, or do we need to reinforce it in our country? I do hope that we are self-sufficient in that.
See, Anjali, in this industry,
yes,
in computer industry, okay, and digital marketing is a part of computer industry, and honestly, the cost of hardware, when I say, I talk of computers and the networks and whatnot, okay, is negligible. It's not much, right? So that is not going to be deterrent. Plus, because it's a global village, so anything which is available anywhere in the world is now available in India for a bit or for a bite. This is just a question of a cost, maybe a bit more, but it's all available. Right. It's not like 90s and early 2000 when if you wanted something you had to see whether it's going to be available in India, you have to import it, you have to do this, yes. You have to pay import duty. So now it's already available to you, imported, duty paid, customs duty paid, taxes paid, and you can go and buy it for whatever the cost might be. But that is again because a very insignificant part of the entire project, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can buy it off the shelf many times.
Absolutely, off the shelf, yeah.
Yes, yes, that's amazing. But all this work goes on in space. Like one cannot see it You can only see it on the computer screen, of course,
Hmm.
but there's nothing that you can catch hold of.
Yeah, there's a very, very nice word for that called cloud.
Cloud, yes. But
So,
where cloud is, what it does, how long we can store data, we just don't know that. But anyway, Sandeep, many years ago, you had started this down line and up line in Amway, and you did very well. And it was, I think, a kind of exponential earnings. And then you were very successful at it. So what does it involve? Marketing. Is it sort of convincing people, and so many businesses you've done so well, and our good wishes to you that you do very well in your new ventures. So Amway,
like I said, I have been very lucky and things happen for me. So,
no,
yes,
no, but hard work, no one can substitute it. One has to put that in.
yeah, you have to sustain. That's about it. Yes, true. So this company came to India in 1998, Amway Corporation, and I got to see their business presentation in the early days, and I really liked it. One, that it gave you a scope to get into an international business. And second, it gave you that opportunity to touch lives.
Yes, it was a
Yeah, you,
wellness product, right?
sorry?
Wellness? Or,
It has a range of products. The company has a range of products. It has
okay.
wellness products. It has home care, personal care.
All right.
Okay, now I don't work with Amway anymore, but yes, it was a great company, great experience. And in the early days, I got to read a book by a gentleman called Robert Kiyosaki.
Gilson.
Sorry?
What's the name of the author?
The name of the author is Robert T. Kiyosaki.
Gilson.
Yeah. So the name of the book is Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes.
And it went on to become one of the best sellers, self-published, the best ever self-published book. Okay. And in that book, Robert Kiyosaki says, if you want to learn business,
yeah,
what I suggest is you get into a network marketing company.
Networking has become such a popular phase.
Correct.
I'm sure it works.
Correct. So, and for the longest time, actually, I was very confused because network marketing was always looked at as small part-time, my wife's business kind of a thing. And I was wondering why this guy is saying that you should go and join a network marketing company.
How can you say that, Sandeep?
Sorry?
How can you say that? Some wives are doing really well.
I don't know. I mean, that's the concept. It's a small time business, which my wife does in her spare time.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I know what you mean. Yes.
Correct. So after reading his book, I went on to read so many successful people about network marketing. And you would be surprised, Anjali, not one of them has anything negative to say about network marketing. Yes. They all were that you should get into network marketing. This is one of the best things you can do. What it teaches you is amazing. So that's how I got started in that. And fortunately for me, I could build up a good team. I did well in that business. But that was not the major thing. The major thing was the learning. Yeah. When that business involves selling. And selling is a skill that everybody should hone. Everybody should practice, because I think more than even doctors.
Yes, I guess. And networking, does it actually mean the amount of influence one has on other people? Is that something, how we can convince them? Sandeep, did your screen get frozen? Well, folks, that was Mr. Sandeep Roy Vaish, and he spoke to us on many aspects of digital marketing, setting up your own business in this digital space. So we have to thank him once he gets connected back. And thank you so much for being here. We will see you next week with some more professional talk. Thank you. Thank you very much. So you're back, Sandeep.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So what happened? There was a glitch at my end or your end. I don't know. This technology is funny.
Yes, but it's okay. We have to live with it and carry on.
I know, I know. So great.
Networking is supposed to be a really one should network.
True.
So visibility, publicity, networking. It's a great thing to do because you meet human beings,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes. That is the reason they say that you will learn a lot when you are working in the network marketing, because you're dealing with scores and scores of people on an everyday basis.
Yes.
And now, why do you learn in this industry so much is because all these people you are working with, they're a team, and you don't pay them,
Yeah, yeah. They build the
and
business.
you have to keep them motivated without making a payment to them. You have to keep them with you without making a payment to them. When in an organization everybody shows up on time because they are afraid of losing their job or the salary if they don't show up on time.
Yes, yes.
Now in a network marketing industry, that doesn't happen. Now if you can get thousands and thousands of people to follow you without you having to pay them, you can understand the kind of power that gives you, that kind of exposure it gives you, the kind of growth it gives you. It transforms you into a very different human being.
Human
And I
being.
also recommend to all the youngsters, whether you eventually pursue network marketing as a part of your career or not, do join a network marketing business where the education is good. Choose on the basis of education. If the education is good, that's a good company to join.
Okay, that's really wonderful. So, in fact, I was going to ask you that do you have some kind of a digital message for our young viewers? Anything you'd like to add to that? That, of course, become part of a networking business, but anything else? What do you foresee in the future as a guru, as an internet guru?
Now I don't know whether that's a term which suits me, but yeah, there's a saying that everybody works, but successful people, they network.
Okay, that's fantastic, awesome. It's an amazing statement.
Right. So
Wonderful.
irrespective what we do, we must spend a little bit of time every single day networking, adding new people to our friends list, communicating with them, understanding them, and with an idea of doing something which can impact their life for better.
Right.
Okay, that is what networking is all about. It is so many times I see people, those who get into networking, okay, they immediately see a group of people and they want to push something, they want to sell something, they
Never
want
know.
to
Yes.
take advantage of that. No, that is not what networking is or network marketing is. No. Idea is that you start giving something to the community and it will come back to you multifold by itself in its own time. It will come.
Oh,
But
yes.
focus on giving. What can I give? If that is with that idea, if you get into networking, you will eventually be very, very successful.
That's really nice. It's wonderful because there's a human element involved to it. So
Yes,
it's very, very, in a way, humanity, working for humanity. And you connect with people at a very subconscious level, you know.
absolutely.
Right?
The satisfaction of that somebody is living better because you lived.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, that pleasure is different. I also believe very strongly that there is no pleasure in receiving. It's a very momentary thing. When you get something new, when you buy something new, when you achieve something for yourself for a moment, okay, you may feel good. But when you give something,
Right.
okay, that pleasure is much bigger. So we must elevate ourselves to a level where we can give something to people, those who need whatever we have.
Of course.
Mm.
Of course. And all the skills and everything else that we have gathered in our lifetime, not just by way of any tangible material, but we can easily help people to the best that we can,
Yes.
right? But
True.
it was very insightful and it was very educated, Sandeep, very informative. This great revolution, digital revolution, to understand it, to work with it, to grow with it, and also networking. But thank you so much for coming and sharing your insights. And we do hope that sometime very soon you will come back to our show and talk about your new ventures.
Well, I mean, if people don't throw bricks at you after this interview, sure, I would like to come back sometime, Anjali.
No. We get a lot of feedback that how can I contact this person, and there was so much of information given. I would like to speak to him or her, and it's sort of growing. This knowledge sharing is really growing. So we're very happy with it. And thank you so much for coming and sharing. And
Thanks,
I'm
Anjali.
sure,
Thanks for inviting me. It was a
no,
pleasure
no.
spending this time with you.
And I do hope that you'll come again, Sandeep.
I look forward to that. You have a fantastic time ahead. Have a great evening. And thank you, everybody, for bearing me out.